guys, welcome back with WC Banda. In the last few months, I've been receiving a lot of emails and messages asking me whether I still invest in Landa app or if I have sold my whole portfolio. So I figured, what's a better time than now to provide you my $13,000 update for my investment in Landa app. Now, it's been a while since I provided my previous update and a lot have changed in the app. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you today through one, the brand new interface of Landa app, what I like and hate about it. Then I'm gonna take you through my portfolio update. I'm also gonna go ahead and review with you a brand new feature for Landa app that have not yet been released to the public. I'm also gonna go ahead and touch on the 200 plus new properties that have been added to Landa app and why I will personally not invest in them.
Are you serious?
Now, one thing I want to point out that I will not be covering in this video, I will not be talking about Landa app fees because I have covered them in detail in my previous video comparing Landa app with Arc 7. So if you have not seen this video just yet, make sure to pause this video, go back and check it because I covered Landa app fees in detail. Now, this being said, before we go ahead and get started, if you guys appreciate the time and effort we are putting in this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. It helps us a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Now, this being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, the first thing I want to talk about today is the user interface and user experience, which usually referred to as UI and UX. Now, just an FYI, I'm not just an investor in Landa app. UI and UX is literally my bread and butter. I do work as a UI UX designer, so my feedback right now will be more of a critic who already in the field. So Landa app, if you need some help with the UI UX, feel free to ping me. Now, as far as the user interface, I can see the new interface is more user friendly. I'm gonna be honest, it is not a mind-blowing. I would say as far as design, hey, it looks okay, acceptable, I have no issue with it. I would give it a C+ at best. But when it comes to the user experience, I would give them a generous F.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And the reason for this, the new user experience just sucks. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Let's see what we get. So by default, this is the screen you are seeing on Landa app. If I go ahead and scroll down, I will see a map. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I think the person who designed this, he's a lot maybe impacted with both Airbnb, Zillow, trying to show you, you can see a map, then you can zoom in or whatever. Now, something really interesting about the map, you can see there's the properties in New York, in Charlotte here, yep, we can see in Georgia, we can see in multiple states including Alabama. Now, this sounds great, and if this is actually a good user experience, when I zoom for example on Charlotte, it's showing me 4 different properties. When I go ahead and open this, actually I'm not seeing these 4 properties. It's showing me the very default sheet where I'm seeing every other property. It's really not connected. So the map is not connected with the actual design, which I'm gonna be honest is a disaster. Especially now that Landa app have over 200 plus property, just you need to be able to filter this. Now let's go back to the home page. Okay, this looks good. I'm seeing a bunch of property. I don't know really why these properties are popping up first. But another thing that's really irritating me with the new design, now they have more than 200 plus property. I'm expecting to really be able to see a separate tab only for the secondary market. They have more than 50 property in the secondary market, yet supposedly there's no tab. I cannot understand this. If I go to, for example, Arc 7, they already have a few properties in the secondary market. They're already putting it in a separate tab. So for me, the only way you can do it here supposedly with these filters, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust these filters enough. So I'm clicking on trading. You can see the performance issues are still not resolved. I'm still facing performance issue years later and more than 200 plus property. It's a bit disappointing. So 47 property, supposedly is what I'm gonna see, but again, it's taking a bit of a time. So I can filter it, but unfortunately I cannot see them separate. For me, I'm gonna say the secondary market is a whole new product. It should be separate in a separate tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. Let's say I wanna reset the filters and show me 170. Now, just actually a little bit of confusing information. Landa app claim in Twitter they have more than 200 property. Right now the filter showing 170, and the map probably disagree with both of them because if we zoom out we can see here the total. So it's showing 100 67. So again, I'm not really sure who should we trust, but you get the idea. Again, these are some of the issues I really hope Landa app addressed by now. Now, another thing I'm actually not happy about, if I come down here as well, you see here discover by city. Okay, sounds good. Again, Atlanta showing 231 property, Brooklyn showing 3, Tampa showing 1. And again, this is disagreeing with what we've seen a little bit earlier. Now, I'm going to click on Atlanta and see what's happening right now. It's taking a little bit too long to load. Now, too many properties, I'm going to be honest, I don't have the time or energy going through 200 properties like this. So again, this is part of the user experience that I'm still not happy with. Now, to Landa App credit, they have been trying to address some of these issues. The performance issue I'm seeing right now was much worse just a few days earlier. And they have been pushing new updates, so I see as once they added the property, they start realizing, you know what, we need to go ahead and fix it. So they are working across it, but again, I'm expecting these issues should be addressed before. Now, another thing actually, when I'm looking at these properties, because there's no easy way for me to filter, so again, I'm coming to Atlanta, 231 property. Again, I don't see Alabama here, which is confusing. So the only way I can do this, I actually zooming by the map, and you know, I'm gonna have to find here. Florida is showing right now, they have what? 11 property. I did not see that back there. So again, confusing information, little bit, there should be some consistency. And this is why I'm giving them, when it comes to user experience, pure F. Now, to be fair for them, when I click on the second tab, actually the reporting, yep, here it open, it's really not bad, I don't mind it. I still believe it needs some improvement. So for example, when I first seen the dividend, I did not even know I can go to the left for a previous data. And this is something because there's no arrow or anything telling me, hey, you can scroll to the left, right? So again, this is some of the issues I think they still need to fix it. You know, it's still out there. Here I have maximum of 1 year. So again, when it comes to analytics, it can improve. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not the best out there, right? They can work this out, they can improve it. So when it comes to analytics, you know, it's acceptable for me. But when it comes to the homepage, it's just pure disaster. Now this is the part I'm sure most of you are interested in. How is my portfolio doing? Now, as you can see, I have a little bit over $13,000. As a matter of fact, my account have been shifting up and down literally on daily basis. A lot of this have to do, some of the properties are already in the secondary market, so you will see that variant. Now, one thing I want to say, I have 1,361 share in 54 property. So my portfolio is actually quite diversified when I look at Landa. Yet, one thing I'm actually noticed, if I go to the dividend here, which again, I'm pretty sure everybody looking for this. When I look at April, I have what? 1,361. My return was $54, minus almost 20% from the month ago. Disappointing. If I go to March, I'm 67.97, which is, let's say 68, which again, minus 5% from the month before. So what's happening is my income from dividend is going lower, which is really disappointing. And if I go to January, it was disaster. Now, FYI, you can see my number of shares haven't changed much, right? In January, I had what? 1,350 share. I just add 11 for the whole year. And yet, my income have been varying a lot, like minus 40, minus 20. So January, as you guys can see here, it's showing minus 40% from December, okay? December showing almost 20% from the month before. So it's really varying a lot, which is shocking considering I'm invested in more than 50 properties. So again, my portfolio is quite diversified when I look at Landa, yet unfortunately, I am not close to stability. Now, there's a lot of reasons why my income keep varying, right? So if I look at some of the property, I will notice some of the issues I'm having is a lot of these properties are old, they get maintenance. Some of them are vacant, right? And again, the occupancy rate, it's one of the stuff I actually discussed previously in my comparison between Landa App and Arc7. In Landa App, it have not been stable. Again, this is something that I really hope to see improving in Landa App, and I cannot highlight this enough. When you are looking in a property, the occupancy is very important. So what you want to look for is, if I'm going to invest in a property, how long the contract is. Is this a property new? Again, the newer property, when somebody move in, it's less likely to actually move out because, hey, the property is doing great. why would I move out, right? So keep this stuff in mind. Again, in Landa, this have been actually jumping up and down. It's been very variant, so it's one of the things that unfortunately have not been doing great. Now, as you can see, I have around 12,700 in shares and around 300 in cash. Again, what I've been doing, literally since my last update, I did not withdraw any money. I did not reinvest much. I put a very small amount of money in a few shares. But I've been collecting all of this rent because I was looking forward to the new properties. I figured, you know what? New properties are coming. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in them, right? But when the new properties came in, I was a little bit disappointed, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain why in a bit. But you can see my properties here. If I click in any of them, it will show you how well I was doing. So how much I'm making per share. Again, these properties, especially the multifamily housing, I have few share, but they are declining because more people buying share and using the dividend 2.0, which again, I don't like, have been causing this decline. So that's another thing. Again, I'm not a fan of the whole dividend 2.0, as if anything, it add more confusing for me, right? Again, when you are investing in a property, I need to know what kind of return should I expect. Dividend 2.0, where they literally paying the dividend, they just divide it by whatever outstanding share, is actually not helpful. Not for me, I get it. I can buy a few share in a property that's not popular and make a lot of money, but later on, if I don't do the math myself, it will get really confusing. So you can see here, this is almost 50% sold out, which means when it's completely sold out, I may only make 8 cents per share. So again, going down, right? This is another reason why I'm making less between 1 month to another. So again, dividend 2.0, mono properties that does not have any occupancy, and properties require repairs. So again, this is a combination, make me go as much as 40% up, 20% down. And again, it's one thing you want to keep in mind, right? I don't have this variant happening with any other app. Arrived Home, Arc7, Finter, all of the applications I have reviewed in the past, I never see this much between 1 month to another. So this is one thing I kind of a little bit disappointing because I'm looking for stable income and I can do it with this much variant. Again, overall, I have no issues because a lot of the property I invested in early on was giving me ridiculously high return, right? So you can see if you invest $13,000 in Landa app today, chances is you will not make $50 just because there is no high return when it comes to dividend. There's no property when it's completely sold out. It will give you as much as 20% ROI or 12% ROI. Now let's talk about the new feature in Landa app. Now, FYI, I'm using the beta version. I realize the feature I'm reviewing for you right now does not exist on the regular app. So if you download it from Google Play or App Store, you will not see the feature I have right now, where you can actually invest in debt. So I'm gonna be honest when it comes to this feature. Like design-wise, I like it. It's very clear. Hey, you buy debt security and you will get a passive income. Okay, sounds great. Now, how much does it pay? I believe, let's go ahead and click on get started. Now, actually, when they started, they said that you're gonna get 6 point something. Now they claim you can get up to 7%. Be careful with the word up to. I don't like the word up to. Now, right now, they're highlighting it's 7 something, and they're highlighting for you why it's 7. Again, they have their own factor here. Current mortgage rate or that Landa debt provide equal to 5.06 plus 2 SOFR, stand for security overnight financing rate. Now, some people may say, hey, I can go buy this security and get 7%, which is actually considered quite good. And when I compare this with actually most of the dividend that most of the property are paying, once all of the shares are sold out, actually 7% sounds quite good. So design user experience when it comes to this feature, it's better than everything else right now in Landa app so far. Now again, as I highlighted, 7% interest sounds good. If you come down here, they are paying you on monthly basis the income or dividend from this, aka the interest. But again, you are buying security and you have to hold it for 12 months. So there's a lockdown period, which honestly I don't like. Again, detail wise, like they literally done an amazing job with this feature. Like when I compare this to the rest of the app, I love the design here more. The user experience, again, most of the data is there, right? I can go ahead and invest, literally buy from as little as $10. Okay, and the Q&A for this feature is literally in the same tab, so I don't have to go anywhere. Now, should I go ahead and invest? A lot of you may think, yeah, this sounds great, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop you here for a second for multiple reasons. Again, I like the feature, I like the design, but 7% in the current economy, and I'm locking down my asset for literally a minimum of 12 months. And FYI, when you sell it out, there's no guarantee you will get 100% for your money. So if I go ahead and put $10 today, There's no guarantee when I sell it out I will get $10. As a matter of fact, I can get as much as around $8, right? So it may lose value. So keep all of these stuff in mind. For me, I'm not really excited for a couple of reasons. One, right now banks are giving me as much as 5%. If you check my previous video for best banks to invest in, literally Goldman Sachs giving me as much as almost 5%. This FDIC account, my money is literally sleeping in the bank and I can withdraw it anytime. Hey, for 2% would I take the risk? Probably not. Stairs by ground floor is giving me 6%. Again, no lockdown, I can withdraw, deposit anytime, and I'm getting my money compound on a weekly basis. Best of all, if I actually want to go ahead and hunt for the highest interest, again, 7% may sounds good, I can go ahead and put my money. I can literally go to ground floor, which again, Landa App competitor, they sell a similar type of security where I get 10% guaranteed. And again, 12 months lockdown, similar terms. Why would I go ahead and take 7% when I can go ahead and get 10% with the ground floor? And again, ground floor have been doing in the game much longer. So from my perspective, I would rather take ground floor over Landa app. And FYI, if you are interested in this type of security, go ahead and check my referral link for ground floor down in the description. You can get $100 sign up bonus for simply using that referral link. So to get started, you will get $100. And again, you can get 10% return instead of 7. Now, to be fair, Landa app have a better design when it comes to this feature, but again, overall, like as far as return, it's not appealing. If they actually said, hey, we're gonna give you 10, we're gonna give you 12, the chances is I would put my money. So for me, I'm just not really excited about this feature. Again, I think it looks good, I think it's promising, I just think the ROI is not there for me. Now let's take a moment and talk about why I personally will not invest in the properties in Landa app right now. As I highlighted, the user experience is really bad from my perspective, and again, I love to hear from you guys. I might be mistaken, right? You might have a different take on it, you may like the new user experience. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section, right? You love it, you hate it, whatever input you have for Landa app, go ahead and put it down in the comment section. I would highly appreciate it. But this is one of the things that actually turned me off. Another thing, as I highlighted, dividend 2.0 is annoying. Again, I have to do the math to get the actual dividend I was receiving. Again, doing all of this when you have 200 plus property, it's just, not feasible, right? And it is the only app right now I'm having these issues with. If I go to Arrive, Arc7, whatever, all of them making it very clear. If you buy your share, this is the expected return. This is how much you're gonna make from rent, right? I shouldn't be guessing how much rent I'll be receiving. It makes no sense. I checked some of these properties. One of the things that really turned me off as well, when I calculate the dividend, when all of these shares are sold out, I may get anything between 1 to 2%, which is honestly not worth it. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me. I'm much better off with other apps like Arrived, Arc7, and so on. And again, I'm investing in all of them. For me, I'm looking for best value. Right now, the real estate market is not in a good shape. So if you're gonna go ahead and put your money, make sure you are investing it in the right spot, right? You need to actually find a really good deal to invest in. Another thing I want to point out about most of the new property, I was blown away. Some of these are under evacuation. What? So there's no income. I don't know who will invest in under evacuation property, but believe it or not, there's people who actually putting their money in a property that under evacuation. Now this is crazy because back in 2008, literally some banks were stuck with these properties. Like, they have under evacuation property. It may take 10 years, 20 years. We'll never know if you will even be able to evacuate these people, right? So again, I don't get why anybody would put their money in a property where it's under evacuation. But again, I've seen some people who are doing it. And again, not every property even making money, like this property in Florida. It's not making anything yet. It's losing money. Yet somehow, let's see, people are putting their money in. So it's crazy. For me, I have to see actual income, and the income have to be worth it. Honestly, anything lower than 5-6%, I wouldn't do it. Especially with Landa, because they are not taking advantage of the REIT structure. I'm talking about this feature, the new feature actually taking advantage of the REIT. So for me, it's like, okay, I will be paying higher taxes, but I'm not taking the same advantage if I go ahead and invest elsewhere. Again, Arc7 is providing me guaranteed income of 5+%. I can get 5% on Fintra as well. When I'm looking here, it's like, okay, I'm not getting 5%, 1 to 2%. The properties are older. Overall, the quality of property doesn't look as appealing. I want to point out there might be some really good deals here, but it's really hard for me to find it in 200 plus property. It's just like, I don't have the time of day to go ahead and throw every property, do math, etc. Right? If they make it much clearer, say, hey, you get 4% here, 6% here. Okay, fine. You know what? I invest. But again, a lot of properties between 1 to 2%, it may take me forever to go through it. So, you know what? I cannot go through them. If somebody actually would like to go spend some time, go ahead and do so. And hey, if you find a really good deal on one of these property, go ahead and share it with us in the comment section. I'm pretty sure not only me, but also other subscriber would appreciate that for you. So go ahead and do so. Also, make sure to go ahead and join our Discord community. A lot of this discussion take place there. Some of our other subscribers may actually go ahead and share with you, right? So again, there might be some good deal, but my first impression, a lot of these properties are old. Dividend is actually really low, and some of them don't have dividend whatsoever. So a lot of these combination and the bad user experience making it hard for me to find that really good deal I'm looking for. Now, I want to go ahead and share with you guys my take. Again, I have nothing against Landa app. I'm not telling you don't invest with them. All I'm saying is we are in a bad economy. If you're going to go ahead and invest your money in real estate, make sure to find a good deal. Again, there might be some really good deal right now, but it will require you to do some investigation. It would require you to put your own time. Don't go ahead and put your money in a property that's losing money. I have no idea why would anybody go ahead and take such a risk, right? So make sure if you're going to go ahead and put money in any property, do your own homework. Don't think about which platform I'm investing in, but which property I'm investing in. Landa app is not financial advisor, right? I'm not your financial advisor. It's your job to do your own homework. So make sure to spend some time, find the right property. If the property doesn't look right, don't invest in it. And don't think about, I need to invest from only Landa app. Find the right app for you. Again, for me, I invest across many applications, right? If I find a good deal and arrived, guess what? I will go ahead and invest in it. If I find it on X7, I will go for it. If I find it in Landa app, I will invest in it, right? So I'm investing across multiple platforms. My target is finding the right deal. Good property, high return. For me, I'm focused on passive income, and this is what I'm doing. If I cannot find a good property right now in Landa app, not a big deal. I can hold back, right? But all I'm saying is, don't feel the need to rush in and invest. I think some of the reason we are seeing people buying some bad deals, they see a property, even though it's under evacuation. Oh no, I need to buy it, there's only 10,000 shares and there's too many users. Let me buy. Well, yeah, but you're gonna lose money, so it's your money, feel free to burn it out, right? So again, I'm not your financial advisor, Landa app is not. Make sure to spend your time understanding each property before putting your money in. Because again, real estate market right now is not in a great shape, right? You can literally lose money much faster. Again, there's no appreciation coming anytime soon. Don't expect to start earning money in appreciation this year or next year. So the only way you're going to make some really good money is from dividend. Make sure when you go ahead and look in different property, find the properties that paying you a really good money. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button if you have not done so already. Subscribe and like this video. Thank you guys and stay tuned with We'll See Banda.